today, this part I'm making Jiaozi, the Chinese dumplings. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of abalone sauce. 2 to 2.5 tablespoons. This is Thai fish sauce, about 1.5 tablespoons. The sweet wine, 2 tablespoons. You want to add Chinese wine also can. Adding about half a teaspoon of sea salt. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. 2 to 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Cornstarch will give it a smooth texture. I have added 300 grams of big prawns, which I've cut into cubes. If you don't have prawns, you want to add fish meat also can. Fish paste or even sotong paste also can. That means you use the squid, clean up the squid, and then just have to mince the squid also can. Whatever that's available and whatever you like, okay? Then the other thing is I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Oil always add last because we want the flavoring to go into the meat first so that it's being marinated. Then last only you add the oil. Because if you add the oil first, then the marinade will not go into the meat properly. If it's here, I have 600 grams of meat. If you're only doing half, then you only put 8 white. But because I have 600 grams, so I'm adding 1 egg. Okay, this is Jicamon. The whiter one is Jicamon, and this is water chestnut. Because I don't have enough water chestnut, so I'm adding Jicamon. So it's about 200 grams to 300 grams. Okay, this will give you the crunchy texture. But if you don't like water chestnut or Jicamon, you don't need to add this, okay? In fact, this one you can use this to make sui jiao or yin tun. Then the next thing I'm going to add, this is青龍菜. 青龍菜 is the younger version of the chives. It's called 青龍菜. If you like lots of vegetables, you can add more. Okay, because I've added extra vegetables, right? So I'm adding another extra tablespoon of abalone and also the cornstarch. If you don't have cornstarch, you may use potato starch or paprika starch. Because the starch will give it a smooth texture. And you notice I cut the青龍菜a bit longer because青龍菜is even more finer than chives, so that's why we have to cut a bit. I'm making one pleat, both pleat, one for both sides, okay? And then let it sit. This one you notice is 2 pleated from this side and 2 pleated from this side, so it's very much up to your own preference, how you want it to be done. You cannot stick together, just add a little bit of water, then it will stick. If you don't want to use water, you can use egg white. This one you can do it on weekend. You do meal prep, then you can store it in the freezer. So whenever you want, you just take out and you get to enjoy it. I'm more a right-hander. Then I'll put another layer and we will do some more. When you are working on this, try not to have the fan directly blowing on it, because when the skin is drying, then it will be very difficult to wrap. Bring out the yellow color one. Now this is all fully wrapped ready. I can put into the freezer. I can store in the freezer for a few days to 1 week. If you freeze it well, you can store away for 1 week. But must make sure the cover fits here. You can put another piece of plastic so that the air doesn't go in. Okay, so this will freeze well in the fridge. So whenever you need it, then you take out to defrost it. Actually, no need to defrost. You straight away put into the hot water to boil. Okay, boiling is about 6 minutes. If it's frozen, then about 7 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes. Right, then you can put ready. So this is done. This is cooking udon. This is the chicken soup, and I'm putting the udon. over. So this is a smaller plate. Okay, the noodle is quite softened and the water is boiling here. So I will add in the jiaozi. So I'm going to cook 4 pieces. Move it a bit so that don't let it sink to the bottom, otherwise the skin will get stuck. Right, do you notice that it's floating on top? Floating on top is already cooked, huh? So we can off the flame, let the residual heat cook it. Bringing up all the noodles. Cook some vegetable here, and here I will add in some sesame oil. These are the lettuce. Here I'm adding spring onion and scallion. This is one way of making the soup. And if you taste if it's not salty enough, add a little bit of soy sauce or ponzu sauce or even light soy sauce. Okay, so this is done. This is 1 cup of chicken stock and 2 cups of water. So let it boil. This is for the soup, for the jiaozi. And then here I have this plain water for cooking the noodles and cooking the jiaozi. Cook here first because the jiaozi skin is got flour, you know. So if you put directly on the soup bowl, then the soup will be thickened. Okay, here I put a few slices ginger to elevate the flavor of the soup. Okay, water is boiling, so we just directly put inside all the jiaozi. This is to make a soupy one. Okay, I put about half a tablespoon of sesame oil. This one will cook very fast, so some the water is boiling because I want to cook the vegetables. The jiaozi is already cooked, so we off the flame. When you're cooking the jiaozi, the moment it floats on top of the boiling water, that means the jiaozi is already cooked, because the meat will cook within 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, this is the chicken soup. So we use the chicken soup. Just now we use the chicken soup to boil the bihun, so the bihun will be tasty. Then now we add some cilantro stem. These are garlic. You can cook yourself, or if you cannot cook, then store bought. These are crunchy, okay? The other thing you can add in is the crunchy shallots. You can add a little bit of white pepper or black pepper. It's up to your own preference. 饺子 bihun soup. You can cook dry also, but this is a soupy one, okay? That's all is done. Bon appetit. Here I'm putting, if this is eating dry, this is the chili oil. The other thing we can add is Zhejiangchu. Zhejiangchu is vinegar, okay? You can eat with vinegar. So this is done. This is Zhejiangchu. Right, this one eat with jiaozi tastes very good. So it's done.